Welcome back. You're still watching Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Exxonmobil is one of the world's largest publicly traded international oil and gas companies. With upstream affiliates operating in Nigeria, it is involved in exploration and production of crude oil and natural gas, and of course operates several joint venture concessions and deep water production.
It began with the formation of the Standard Oil Trust in 1882, and on November 30th, 1999, Exxon and Mobil joined forces to form Exxonmobil Corporation to enhance its ability to be an effective global competitor. Over the course of its long history of more than a century, Exxonmobil has evolved from a regional marketer of kerosene to an advanced energy and chemical innovator and one of the largest publicly traded companies in the world. It operates facilities and markets products in many countries around the world, explore for oil and natural gas on 6 continents using their familiar brand names Exxon, Esso, and Mobil. Exxonmobil upstream affiliates in Nigeria operate several joint venture concessions and deep water production, sharing contracts which currently focus on major secondary oil recovery projects, natural gas liquids, and gas monetization, and significant investment in national content development. The Exxonmobil upstream affiliates operating in Nigeria are Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited, Esso Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited, and Esso Exploration and Production Nigeria Offshore East Limited. The companies have notable history, proven experience, and a strong record of contributions to Nigeria's development.
So how does Exxonmobil ensure success is achieved through the various pillars that help drive the organization?
The Exxonmobil affiliates in Nigeria, they're upstream companies. There are 3 companies. One is a joint venture, and the other 2 are production sharing contract companies. We have Mobil Producing Nigeria, the joint venture, and then you have Esso Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited and Esso Exploration Production Offshore East Limited. And all of them contribute quite significantly to the country. In terms of corporate social responsibility, the key focus areas for the companies are in health, in education, in economic empowerment, in women empowerment and entrepreneurship, as well as sports. And those areas we've done things in the last 50 years we've been in this country.
Your contribution towards improving the education sector in Nigeria is over 23 billion naira, from unique university programs to scholarships. How happy are you with what you have achieved so far?
Yeah, we're quite pleased, and it's something we will continue to sustain because, if you don't have a strong education base, then your national development is hampered. And so the scholarship programs we've done over 8,000 beneficiaries, both in the secondary school space and in the university space. And we've tried to make sure that we make it as broad as possible to develop the STEM sector of the economy. We've also done things that upgrade and facilitate better teaching in universities for geology-related areas. So we have 2 programs in that area, the University Partnering Program and the University Assistance Program. And those are used to really upgrade geology, field trips, mapping and all that. So there's a lot we've done in that area. And one of the key things we've done, because if you don't have a good feeder system, then you don't really have a good educational system. In Akwa Ibom, we've done something where we've taken secondary school, done a scholarship for indigent students who can't afford to go to school, and put them in private boarding schools, and they have excelled and really flourished. And when you can get it right at that level, then you have a feeder system that really feeds into the national development. And so we're really pleased at what we've done in that area.
Health seems to be one area you pay lots of attention to in your social investment initiatives, from malaria to other health outreaches that you have been able to carry out. Share with us some of those stories.
Indeed, malaria is one area we've really focused on because so many people die from malaria. It's underreported because it seems to be something we're used to. But you find that a lot of pregnant women and children under 5 are really vulnerable to malaria, and many die every year. So it's one area we've focused on in communities, especially in the riverine and hinterland communities where they don't have enough healthcare, to make sure that they have access to malaria treatment, insecticide-treated nets, and the ability to be able to be treated when there's an issue. Diagnostics, we've invested a lot in that area. So a lot of, over 163 communities across the country have benefited. We've made sure that over 48,000 pregnant women are stable and have delivered without issues, and it's something we continue to do. Outside of malaria, we've done a number of things in HIV. We've supported HIV, and we've done maternal referral centers. Again, the mortality rate where children are concerned, where women don't have access to good health care in their delivery state, can be very destabilizing. So we've also focused in that area. And in recent times, in the COVID space, we've really done a lot. Apart from, we've provided test kits to some states and to ensure that testing has been sustained and able to detect. We've also invested in hospital equipment to also help support them, ambulances, and a number of initiatives to just make sure that we can all together keep the numbers down.
Most of your socio-economic empowerment programs are focused on women. What do you hope to achieve with this?
Population-wise, you find there are most times more women in any environment. So if you can harness that energy, your development is assured. And so a few of the things we've done, we have a Global Women in Management program, and We Connect. Those focus on women entrepreneurs. So you have management capability being imparted to them. The We Connect has to do with things in the procurement space, that they could be vendors to companies, and connects them with multinationals so that they understand the ways that their procurement processes work. So it's kind of giving them capacity and helping them understand the ways to do and the things they need to do. So the Solar Sisters program, what we've done with that is for people who have been displaced, IDPs, they can't farm, they can't do anything, and they're just stuck in wherever they are. And what we've done is we provide an alliance that gives them access to solar-powered appliances that they can sell to people who need them, especially in rural areas where there's no electricity. And so they become distributors, and they can build a market, and they begin to sustain themselves. And in that program, we've done a pilot in Bauchi where we have over 200 women who have benefited from it.
Exxonmobil had several initiatives targeted at developing the sports sector in Nigeria, and several of those initiatives have produced high-profile athletes. Share with us some of those success stories.
One of them straight away is what we used to call the mobile track and field. We ran it for 21 years, and it was the premier event that was used to select athletes for international sporting events, the Olympics, the International Athletics Championships. And so every many athletes were discovered in that space and were developed and went on to become international athletes. And another one we did was in Akwa Ibom. We did a secondary school athletics championship for about 14 years. And through that process, if a number of athletes came up and have gone on to run internationally too. And that helped the state build a budding talent pool of athletes.
Are there programs targeted at developing communities in the Niger Delta region?
We've done maternal referral centers, and we have one in Bayelsa. And these are centers that are targeted at high-risk pregnancies. The undergraduate scholarships, 50% are devoted to people from that area. So we have operations in Akwa Ibom and in Rivers. There was a program we ran in Akwa Ibom, a graduate assistance program. It was a lot of people, they graduate and don't find work. So that program was, you ran them through that program for like 3 to 6 months, and you gave them competence in the area of computer-based usage. You also gave them empowerment in the area of being able to run businesses. So whether they got jobs or they ran businesses, and we had a high conversion rate. People who didn't have jobs for years found businesses they could run and started employing people.
And tell us how Exxonmobil has contributed to the Nigerian economy.
Apart from providing very significant levels of crude production, we've been able to contribute in terms of revenue in the last 10 years at least $130 billion. And that has come from taxes, from royalties, and our joint venture partner, NNPC, their share of profit. And that has been significant in the revenue profile of the country. Outside of that, we've also, in the NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission, the levy, since inception in 2001, all the 3 companies have put up at least 67 billion naira across, because every oil company, 3% of your budget every year goes to the NDDC, and that's what we've done.
What has your experience been working with Exxonmobil, and do you think things should be done differently in terms of business? Are you enjoying working with Exxonmobil?
Yeah, I definitely am enjoying working with Exxonmobil. Next week will be my 11th anniversary in the company, and it's been a really productive and rewarding experience. Sometimes you just get into a job and all you do is a job. But sometimes you get to, and in the space we work in, dealing with people and communities and seeing the impact you can make with just a little can be very, very rewarding. I remember a couple of instances when I worked in Abuja, and we just overhauled a school, the science lab. And that simple thing that you spent maybe 2-3 million on, that didn't seem like a lot, it's like a drop in the ocean, but you found that that school was able to be a center for all the neighboring schools when it came to WAEC, JAM, and the old students of the school were really so proud of what was done, and you didn't think it was major. When you can impact lives that way, you begin to understand that there's a lot more to life than just a job. And Exxonmobil has given me that opportunity to be in that space, and I hope to continue to do that. In terms of what can be done better, I mean, we all live in a time that is unprecedented. So talking about doing better, just adapting to the situation you find is more than enough. And one of the things I found is the company is very resilient and able to adapt to any situation, and it's taught us a lot in our own personal lives.
Exxonmobil has invested a lot in these various sectors we've talked about. What are your plans going forward?
For us to have come this far, we've had a very good relationship with our joint venture partners, the NNPC, and we're really grateful for the synergy and the partnership. On a going forward basis, we're committed to ensuring that our oil production is seamless, cost-effective, and continues to bring the benefit to the country. It's our mainstay in the nation, and it's something we want to make sure we run efficiently so that the revenues are sustained. And we want to also continue to support the governments and communities in the areas where we operate. Because if you say charity begins at home, if you don't ensure that those areas are well developed, it becomes difficult. We want to touch as many lives as we can from our operations in the things we do, and that's our commitment.
And that's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, connect with us via social media handles running on your screen. I'll see you again next time. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Thanks for watching.